Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Dropped a video earlier today showing some of the comments from Jerry Mack's press conference. You guys seem to enjoy that, so I'm back to take a look at the defensive side of the ball as Willie Martinez met with the media after Tuesday's practice. But as always, you guys know the drill. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And again, we plan to go live this coming Sunday afternoon. We're going to break down this entire week of practice, the news and notes. Also, the Indie Kid, for you Hoops fans, the Indie Kid dropped a video a little earlier with that. So if you missed it, be sure to check it out. And also share out the link. Hit that little share button just below the video. Send it out to Facebook, Twitter, tell a friend. Let somebody know about Talkin VAWLS. As we always say, we're not experts. We're not insiders. We're just four dudes that love the Vols. We are just like you guys. We are just like the listeners of this channel. Just four guys that love Tennessee. But anyway, let's get into the press conference with Willie Martinez.
And you got to be able to be very effective in the 50-50 balls. And that's really what's going to come down to. You got to be able to change the momentum of the game. You got to be able to catch the ball, not bat the ball down. You got to be tall enough. Obviously, you got to be athletic enough to jump and challenge that. And you got to come down with the ball, because bottom line, if you don't get the turnovers, you're never really going to change the momentum of the game. You know, the PBUs of the days. There's times the PBU is really good. You know, obviously you're knocking the ball down because you couldn't catch it on a fourth down. You know, but shoot third down now. You got to get ready for fourth down. You know, so it's not even it's no longer coaching just to get the third down and get that done. You got to go. You got to play four downs. It doesn't matter where you're at in the field. So you have.
But first of all, can the University of Tennessee, can they maybe upgrade their internet connection? I don't understand why these press conferences are always robotic. But anyway, I like that Martinez is talking about turnovers. He's talking about momentum. Pass breakups are not good enough. You got to come down with the ball. We all know that Heupel's offense, they're going to go fast. They're going to score some points. But because they go fast, because they're up-tempo, that could put this defense in some tough spots this season. But go back to the coaching search for a defensive coordinator. That's exactly what Heupel wanted. That's what he talked about as he was trying to narrow down that search. He wants somebody that's aggressive, somebody that attacks, and somebody that can force turnovers. And as the defensive backs coach, Willie Martinez seems right in line for what Josh Heupel wants on the defensive side of the ball. Let's hear more.
You got to have guys that obviously got to be able to cover, because there's so many, you know, they're always the offense, whether this is this offense or any offense, they're looking for mismatches. You got to be able to run, you got to be athletic. You can't be one dimensional. Meaning you just can't be a one position guy. You can't just be a nickel. You just can't be a corner, you know, and have a weakness to your game. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't line up at corners and say, I'll take this guy because he can cover really well, but he can't tackle very well, because you're going to be exposed. So the more athletic you are in the defense, now it doesn't just have to be defensive backs, your linebackers, and then your D linemen. You know, D linemen make a lot of the plays that you may not think that, you know, that have an effect on types of styles of offense, the tempo teams. You know what I mean? Because you're creating quick decisions, you know, by the offense, you know what I mean? Instead of sitting there patting the ball and have a little bit more time.
It takes all three levels. You know, Willie Martinez, he may just coach DBs, but this team, they have to find a way to get pressure up front. The linebackers have got to do a better job in coverage. You know, like I said, it takes all three levels for this defense to work. And obviously he understands that. I think they've got some athletic guys in the secondary. But this is about the DBs. I get that, but they have got to figure something out at linebacker. They have to figure out what they're going to do. And maybe, you know, once Roman Harrison is healthy, if they get Willis back on this football team, maybe Jeremy Banks can contribute. They got to figure something out at that linebacker position. I'm excited about the defensive line, though. I'm excited to see what Garner gets out of that group. But let's hear some more.
Anything we've really given them, they haven't really, you know, pushed back. They've actually been all in. They've been, it's important to them. They haven't been perfect, but their energy, their enthusiasm, their attention to detail, you know, has been spot on. You know, about the best you can actually ask for in what they've been through. You know what I mean? All the changes. You It's not easy. I've been there before on their part as a player, and understanding it. So I think their attitude's been really good. And I think that, again, I have a good group standpoint of the defensive backs who've got some experience, got some really good attitudes. And again, I think that's really helped.
Sounds to me like these players, this defense is buying in. I like they're all in. They're all in. They're committed. I like that they're not perfect. We're not asking you to be perfect. We're asking you to buy in, and it sounds like that's what this defense is doing. And once again, we've got a coach that is focusing on the good. He's being positive. He's picking these kids up. It's interesting that he talks about, what these players have been through. It's an ongoing theme this entire spring. But I think these coaches truly get it. I think there's more to football than X's and O's. It takes trust. It takes team building, relationships. We talk all the time about the need for a culture change in Knoxville with this football program. And these coaches are saying and doing the right thing. And again, don't get it twisted. It doesn't matter until they take the field and we start seeing it. We got wins. That's it. Wins are all that matter. But I think they're laying a foundation. I like what I hear so far.
Having guys like Alante Taylor, who have a tremendous amount of experience, have been here. Theo Jackson, just naming two guys that have obviously been here for a while, and they do the things how you want them done off the field. And when you have that kind of leadership, I don't care what room it is, you have a chance because they're good players and they know how to get things done both on and off the field.
Leadership on and off the field. Too many distractions for this football team right now. Got to weed out the bad. Got to find some leaders on this team, and let's go. Let's go. I like hearing that Alante Taylor is stepping up and being a leader. That guy had some really good moments last year. I think he was really good, really physical in the run game, but he also had some bad moments too. And again, I'm just saying it takes all three levels. It takes all three levels for this defense to click. But I look for Alante Taylor to have a big year, man, a big year. And I like that he's talking about player leadership. That's something that we have said time and time again over the last few seasons. Somebody in that locker room has to step up. And it's not just posting the right things on Twitter, rah, let's go team. It's showing it. It's showing it day in and day out on the practice field, in the locker room, off the field, and on the field of play. All across. It takes on and off the field, like Willie Martinez said. Continuing with the press conference, he did talk a lot about doing the right things. He mentioned, they did start sluggish in practice yesterday, which is similar to what Jerry Mack said about the running backs. But he also praised his group for finishing strong. Spent a lot of time talking about what he wants at each position. Talked about long corners that can make plays on the outside. High expectations for the star position. Talked about needing a guy there that can cover, but also be physical, a guy that can blitz the quarterback. I'm curious to see who steps up and takes over that position. Is it going to be a guy like Theo Jackson or maybe Nico? I don't know who steps up and takes over that position. And we'll see how the secondary moves around, where they end up putting guys. But he had a lot of praise for the coaches that he's working with on the defensive side of the ball. Talked about, playing a multiple defensive base, what they're going to do. They're going to show some 4-3, some 3-4. Probably going to live in nickel, if I was guessing. But so they're still trying to evaluate guys, figure out what they have, where they can plug these guys in, where they can play. But that's it. That's the highlights from that press conference. I'm excited. Every time I hear these coaches talk, I get excited. Again, I like that Josh Heupel is putting these assistants out in front of the media, out in front of the fans, letting them talk instead of micromanaging everything and controlling every narrative, every little detail. I think Josh Heupel it's a smart decision. It is a smart decision letting these assistants come out and talk. I think it's a good decision to have the open practice on Saturday. So again, they're saying and doing the right things. What does that mean on the football field? Well, we're going to find out this fall. We are going to find out this fall. I'm going to leave you guys with a funny little clip from the presser that I did like. I'm not going to make any comments. All I'll say is I agree 100% with what Willie Martinez says in this final clip. But as always, guys, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up on the way out the door. If you have not, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're checking out all the content we're dropping each and every day. And like I said, share out the link, post it on Twitter. When you see us promoting, when you see us tweeting out that we dropped a video, help us out. Like it, retweet it, share it, all that great stuff. You guys make this channel what it is. But again, for the Talkin VAWLS Network, my name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
What the thought process might be, and really the players got to understand that they're going to go for it on fourth down. So don't celebrate pass breakups and tackles on first and second and third down. Get yourself to your spot, so to speak. Get yourself prepared, right? Because you might think you might be getting on the field. These guys are going warp speed, you know, and they're getting lined up and getting ready to. And that's really where you get hurt, is that guys think that you know, the series is going to be over, and not really. You know, just so get yourself in a play routine, we like to say. You know, identify the first thing when that play's over with. Get your eyes on the sideline. Identify that down and distance first and foremost, and then find out what the call is, so that you can sit there and decipher and have some kind of an idea in about 5 to 10 seconds when they line up in this formation based off our call. What was it that we've been game planning for, to find out the strengths and weaknesses? You know what I mean? I know I'm probably talking too much, but that's really what that, you know, and they're doing a pretty good job of it. It's not where it needs to be, but definitely it's improving.